There are three things that are very important in this country is honor and support your family, honor and support your community, and honor and support your country. So I'm a veteran.
You're like one team. You look out for each other. When you're wounded, you cover for them. And when they open fire on you, you just make sure they're safe.
I guess I was out of high school 6 months and I was in the service. You learn pretty fast. Just pay attention and do what you have to do.
You had to know how to do things. I mean, you had to understand the way the military works, and in turn you can parallel that to life outside of military.
I was a line officer aboard a destroyer, and great responsibility. Taught me a lot about myself and the world, and about other people. So, very valuable experience, but I'm very grateful and appreciate the Armed Forces.
We totally look forward to this day, and we love it when it comes to see you and hear your stories. And so here we are enjoying ourselves together, and that's the purpose of this, really to give appreciation to you for serving our country and its principles overseas and here in the United States over the years.
I was aboard the USS Idaho. I was 17. I was at Peleliu, Iwo Jima, Okinawa, and I was in Tokyo Bay when the Japanese surrendered.
The Stuttgart raid in 1942, we lost over 30% of our, there's 10 men on a plane. When you lose 30% of a mission is a tremendous amount.
When we left the States, the war was still on, but by the time we got there, they'd signed the armistice. So we told everybody that they heard our squadron was coming, they figured they better sign.
I was in the Marine Corps. I was a judge advocate at Camp Lejeune. The reason why I joined the Marine Corps is my brother was also in the Marine Corps, and my father was in the Marine Corps. Actually, as a little kid, I lived on Camp Lejeune. It's like growing up with the great Santini. Even today, when I show up in court, or when I have my paralegals show up in court, I make sure they have their gig line straight.
That's the way it went. That's why I went in the service, just to serve my country, and if anything developed or anything happened to me, it happened to me,
Doing a lot of mapping, flying, cuts and fills with transit, and I laid out a lot of the roads that is now in Okinawa right after the bombing of Okinawa.
I remember being in the Azores when Franklin Roosevelt came through on the way to his Yalta conference. And my tower brought him in.
The Higgins boat was going by, and I was on the stern of the ship, and a young Marine stood up, waved the bathing suit, and said, "We're going to the beach, fellas. You want to come?" And I often wonder what happened to that fella. Still had a sense of humor.
But in particular, I also want to say you all either came back home to this area, if this is your hometown, or you ended up locating here, and really as well, and probably I'd have to say a little bit better than maybe the average citizen who hasn't served our country in the armed forces, you made this community better over the years. And I, as a young man growing up here, was a beneficiary of your hard work in this community as well. So it's just a thrill for us to be able to spend some time with you and say thanks all morning long.
We want to thank the Lord for the opportunity to break bread together. And as we go about this day, let us remember it's better to give than to receive.
I wanted to help out like everybody else did in the country and all.
We all enjoy the freedoms that a strong military has earned for us through blood, sweat, and tears, to quote Churchill.
I went into Vietnam, and I'm glad I served this country as a United States Marine, and I served America.
I figured it was fate if anything happened.
I fly my American flag every day. I think the military guys know what freedom is because they served and they know why they served and what it means.
Look for the good part of life, look ahead, and hope everything's going to be good.
Gentlemen, thank you.